għandi tlet mistiedna li jirrepreżentaw ir-rebbieħa ta' uħud mill-karting li rebħu din is-sena. Miej għandi lil Zek Xikluna, lil Andrej Fenek u lil Daniel Abela. Kif intom? Kif qed tħossukom? Zek, ir-rebħa fil-GR3. Kif tiddeskrivija din ir-rebħa ta' dan il-kampjonat?
Mindu leb tal-CRG ħassejt il-kart vera tajba u kont qed nagħmel ħinijiet vera tajbin u kont l-ewwel persuna li għamilt ħin taħt il-43 fil-mini.
Fil-mini. U ma bqajtx taqta' qalbek li wasalt għal din ir-rebħ. Kif kienet hekk meta sirt taf li hekk x'ħassejt?
Ħassejt ħafna soddisfazzjoni u ħassejt li hard work pays off.
Proset. Andrej, ir-rebbieħ ta' xi xtajli inti?
Tal-kampjonat.
Tal-kampjonat ta' xi tal-kategorija tal-Rotex?
Micro.
Micro. U kemm ilek issuqa din il-kategorija?
Ħafna.
U tuħu gost issuq il-go-kart? U kif qalulek hekk irbaħtu hekk bdejt tgħidilhom vera le kif x'għamilt? Ħadd gost ħafna. U l-papa u l-mama min jaf x'għamlu, Għandek it-tazza hawnhekk li rbaħt fil-dan ġibta miegħek? Daniel, naqra kbar inti kif tiddeskrivi din ir-rebħa meta tngħidlek tiddeskrivi x-xogħol kellek biex wasalt għaliha.
Kelli bżonn ħafna personal training, xogħol, skola l-iktar importanti, naħdmu ħafna, flus ovvja.
U fis-sajf, għax intom ma tifqux fis-sajf. Mhux pereżempju tgħid ħammur ġurnata baħar, irid dejjem ikollok it-training għax għandek il-kampjonat. Kif kont qassama din għax għandek il-holidays tas-sajf?
Fil-fatt s-sajf kienet l-inqas li morna l-baħar minħabba il-go-karts għax kien hemm iktar tiġrijiet fis-sajf din is-sena.
U meta tgħidli morna ġifieri inti u l-familja, ġifieri l-familja
kollha bagħtiet miegħi.
U għandhom is-sodisfazzjon tal-li irbaħt f'din il-kategorija. Għandek xi pjanijiet tal-sena d-dieħla jekk tbiddilx il-kategorija jew tibqa' fiha?
Ma nafux sissa, sissa jien ħanibqa' ġo fiha x'għadni l-ewwel sena u fil-fatt li żar wieħed fil-klassi tal-Junior X30. Imma sissa ma nafux fejn sejjer xorta.
Tajjeb, nawguralek, U Zek, għandek xi pjanijiet hekk se tagħmel xi ħaġa ġdida jew se tibqa' fuq il-ġija?
Sena d-dieħla.
Għas-sena d-dieħla.
Sena d-dieħla ħaneqleb għal-Junior u ħanikompeti ma'
Il-Junior
Daniel.
ġifieri ma' Daniel.
U ħanikompeti ma' Daniel.
Tajjeb, se jkollok il-kompetitur.
U se jkun hemm ħafna iktar power u ħafna iktar physical ġifieri trid titrejna iktar.
Imma challenge, għax inti dejjem tikber anke fil-ħsieb naħseb ikollkom aktar.
U hemm ħafna drivers li huma tajbin li huma fil-junior.
Imma inti tajjeb ukoll, mhux hekk, mhux kulħadd tajjeb. U Andrej, x'għandek ippjanatek se oħra, ġifieri se tarġa' tagħmlu l-kampjonat jew se tiqa' ftit? X'biħsibek tagħmel? Se tbiddel il-go-kart se tibqa' bli għandek?
Għalli għandi u ħansuq bija ħafna u suq bil-magna li għandi u jiġri ħafna.
U forsi tmur barra minn Malta tagħmel xi training jew għandek fil-ħsieb hekk
mal-papa. Nibaħ il-kampjonat hemmhekk ġieli.
Okej, għandek fil-ħsieb li tagħmlu kampjonat barra minn Malta. Mhux hekk. Mela, Daniel, kieku ma kontx tagħmel dan l-isports, kont terġa' tibda u tbidlu inna forsi tmur għal xi ħaġa oħra, jew tant qed tidħol fiha dan l-isport li jista' jiġri xi ħadd tibqa' issa.
Fil-verità hekk jiġri imma kieku kelli bżonn nieqaf jew nidħol ngħin il-team tiegħi.
Ġifieri xorta tibqa' fuq
Xorta nibqa'.
Eħe. U forsi l-qudiem forsi tilħaq technician biex tkompli tavvanza.
Il-xogħol tiegħi li rrid nilħaq huwa ta' inġinier.
Okej.
Vuol kieku jgħinni u xorta ngħin it-team.
Ġifieri l-papa jekk għandu xi ħsieb li dan jista' jaqtaħħa biex hekk ġifieri nagħmlu ilu ċara minn issa ġifieri xorta jrid ikompli jgħinek u din is-sena żekk għandek xi tiġrijiet partikolari jew se tibqa' training fuq Malta.
Iva fil-fatt ħammur Valencia fi Spanja għal jagħmel World Finals u ħajkun hemm xi 120 kompetituri. Imma mbagħad jaqsmuhom fi gruppi għax ma jistax ikun hemm 120 kompetituri fuq trakka waħda.
U meta tgħid jaqsmuhom skont l-età?
Le, randomly fil-groups.
Fil-groups skont kif jiġu jinqasmu. Jiġifieri mhux f'ġurnata din għandek.
Random.
Le għandek xi 3 days biex jinqasmu ikunu jafu eżempju l-ġimgħa tagħmlu hekk.
Ħammur hemm għall-ġimgħa imma.
Okej, ma training.
Training u tiġrijiet u heats u qualifying.
Eżatt.
Ħafna.
U Andrej, x'tixtieq tagħmel flok go-karts biss jista' forsi iżżid xi ħaġa oħra jew il-go-kart ħafna toġbok?
Il-go-karts ħafna.
Toġbok? Ġifieri ma tmux sports ieħor tgħid daqshekk il-papa tgħidlu neħħili din il-go-kart ma niġux hawn iżjed ix sarbaħt il-kampjonat m'għandekx għalfejn terġa' ssuq. Jew se ssuq iżjed.
Ħansuq iżjed.
Ħassuq iżjed, xorta ġifieri. U għandek Daniel, għandek xi ħaġa oħra din is-sena jew issa spiċċajt il-kampjonat relax u se tistenna Jannar jiġi biex forsi tagħmlu xi ħaġa oħra. Din is-sena lesta magħluqa.
Ma jiena missier ma tantx nafu x'inhu relax. U dis-sena sejrin Valencia.
L-istess ma' Zek?
Fil-World Finals tal-Jame. Hopefully għas nitla podium.
Jalla, għax barra li tagħmlu nejn għalikom infuskom għal-Maltin ukollu sodisfazzjon li ġodin in-naqra gżira żgħira għandna ħafna talentu. X'taħseb Andrej kikun iġi darban suq jiena? Issellif lil ħelmit u hekk. Problema. Mhux daqshekk faċli miegħek. Ma tċedilix imqar. Kemm għandek go-karts ħanibdew minn hemm?
4.
Ġifieri ma tinix waħda minna din.
Le.
All right. Noqgħod ġo fihom tajjin, kemm innek jittakkuna. Noqgħod eżatt. Zek, għandek xi ringrazzjamenti?
Iva, l-ewwel il-ġenituri għas-support, mbagħad lil Dennis għall-għajnuna fil-frame u setup tal-xażi u Ruben ħabba l-magli u ikun team manager tajjeb.
Andrej.
U kulħadd fit-team għax ikun hemm kumpanija sabiħa.
Proset, nitħellu. Andrej, għandek tgħid thank you l xi ħadd? Lil min? Lisa, lili?
Il-papa u l-Gianluca riranġaw li l-magni tiegħi tar-Rotex Micro. U jiġri ħafna għalihom u jgħinuni ħafna għalihom.
Proset. Daniel, għandek xi ringrazzjamenti?
Għandi l-ommi missieri, l-Aldo għal-paċenzja kollu li ħabina, Vincenzo Toscano, Alfiero Camilleri u l-Twistiza l-main sponsor.
Nawguralkom għal ħafna suċċessi għal din is-sena Zekku Daniel u il-kumplament lilkom it-tlieta għal futur ukoll. Wafqa qasira għal riklami u nkomplu għal. Lura fil-programm u issa se naraw feature li ħejjilna Marcus Hersi.
The World Rally Championships of the 70s. A legendary time, especially for one team. And in the Constructors' Championships, Lancia were all conquering. They entered the championships in the early 70s with a Fulvia. But from 74, 75, 76, one car stood out. Now, certainly this was my dream car as a child. It was the poster car on the wall. And that's why I'm making it my choice today. Today we're bringing you the beautiful Lancia Stratos. I have with me here today Mark Borge, who's very kindly brought up this beautiful Stratos for us to have a look around and have a good chat about today. Mark, thank you very much for coming and bringing it with you.
Thanks for inviting me, actually.
Childhood dream for me. Genuine childhood dream. I love doing this, but to actually be able to interact with a car that was my bedroom wall poster car, is, for me. This is my little journey of pleasure today. Tell me a little bit about it. What made you choose the Stratos? Why it came to you? How it came to you?
I think to start where I initiated my love for this car, we have to go back to my very early childhood days, I would say.
Like most of us.
Like most of us, but back in the days, our only source of media was TV. So apart from having only one local station, we had another 3 Italian stations that we used to watch on TV, and every Wednesday I remember I used to watch this sports program, and included in the sports program, obviously, there was the motors. There was the motor section where I could see this car that, for me, looking at the other cars, was like landing from outer space.
It's very much like that. The design is so incredible for me.
I mean, that was the first time I got struck by the shape of this car, which it looks even stunning today when you look at it. And
it does. I mean, the thing that's impressing me with the car, I have interacted before with the Stratos, but very briefly. But my memory is obviously failing as I'm getting older. It's so compact. It's so much smaller than you imagine it to be.
Than you imagine, yes.
Yeah. In fact, if you were to take this car and put it against a blank background, this was a Marcello Gandini design, wasn't it? So
exactly.
Gandini's design works so well that it would be very hard, without something to scale it against, to work out the size of it. I think that's the appeal, and the short wheelbase, the wedge profile.
It was a time when the wedge design was coming in vogue. So I think this was one of the first itinerations of that era. And Gandini's pen, when he was working at Bertone. Obviously, if you see the other designs of this era by Gandini,
they're very similar.
They're very similar. The wedge shapes. If you see the prototypes at the Alfa Romeo Museum, for example, the Scarabeo and other models,
they're very similar.
They're very similar. You can. Well, maybe they're not so similar, but you can relate.
Yes, you can.
You can relate to the design.
In fact, when you see the design, it's a very odd design for a rally car. It almost looks like it was penned to be a supercar.
It is, but the reason for that was Fiat. Fiat had just acquired Lancia. They had their own 124 Spider Abarth that was doing very well in this era. But Cesare Fiorio, who then eventually became also the director for the racing division for Ferrari, as most people might know, he wanted to do the opposite. He wanted to go the other way around. So most of the cars that were rallying were street cars converted for rally, whereas this was conceived purposely for rally racing. So it was the other way around.
Yeah. Now, we know that the car is a recreation.
Yes.
But it's a faithful recreation, and it's quite special. Because we were talking before, and you explained how you went through the process of getting this car, how it's constructed, and just the level of detail and authenticity that you went to. Can you take me through that a little bit? Just how
Yes, I mean, this started about 8 years ago, when I started looking into the idea of getting hold of one. Getting hold of an original car was beyond my means completely, because
there can't be that many out there.
These cars are, they are rare. Obviously, the prices are stratospheric, like Stratos, the car.
Very good. I like that.
You know. And so, yeah, I started researching and researching and researching and, going on forums and meeting people. And I happened to bump in this very enthusiastic French guy who was basically buying parts from all over the world, wherever he could find, to eventually assemble a car himself with original parts.
Okay.
And he had told me that there was an original chassis. For those who don't know, this chassis is a square frame. It's a whole frame.
Is it like what we would call a tub chassis?
It's a tub, but then
Okay.
it's all welded like the roll cage is welded in.
Okay.
So
you have a central tub and then you have a
central
frame.
tub.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. It's all steel. And so I managed to get through this person in Germany. Actually, it was his son because his dad had passed away. And we built the chassis, and so I have an original frame chassis from a Stradale.
That's fantastic.
And obviously then it's where through my research I found a very specialized company in the UK, in Nottinghamshire, who, going there and speaking to them, we decided to recreate the body, because the body also at the time was a fiberglass body.
Yeah. So I mean, it's faithful.
And they, I saw their work, and they do a fantastic job. It was a very, very long wait for the project, because it took me over 5 years for it to be completed.
Rather than, which a lot of them are, not that it's a bad thing, rather than a kit, this is a bespoke built body over an original tub.
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
That's the
kind of
case.
elevates the car
That's
a bit,
the
doesn't
case.
it? Yeah, yeah. It's as close as you're going to get, isn't it?
Exactly.
Really. Now, powertrain-wise, I happen to know that originally they were a Ferrari V6. Now, you've kept with the Ferrari theme, but
Yes.
you've given it a bit more oomph.
Yes, I wanted to do something quite unique. And, speaking to these guys who built the car up in Nottinghamshire, I told them about my thoughts of building the car with a small V8 Ferrari engine rather than a V6. And
That raise an eyebrow or two?
Yeah, they raised an eyebrow, they scratched their head, but they were ready to go for it. I mean, it was something that they hadn't done before, so it was a challenge for them, And so from there, we started.
Yeah, they probably enjoyed the project as much as you did.
The pursuit for finding this engine, which we found in a rather sad state.
What car was it in original? What was it
a
from?
Ferrari Mondial 8.
From a Mondial 8. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ferrari Mondial 8. And we basically just took the car donated its subframe, its rear subframe. And
that's all gone in lock, stock and barrel, really, has it?
Well, not really.
modification?
No.
Okay.
I took the engine to a specialized builder, and we souped up quite a bit of more power than the original powertrain. So
What sort of power is she
from
running?
Like the Mondial had around 220, 230. Now it's running on 305 brake.
That's enough. I'm seeing a lot of details from other cars that he's done, even directly Fiat X19
Yes,
door handles.
Fiat X19 door handles, Fiat
and
X19
the-
pop-up headlights,
The pods, even
the famous Fiat 850 and so many other models.
Backlights.
Rear lights.
Yeah.
But
everything else is bespoke. That screen is a work of
Yes,
art, how
everything's
they came
bespoke,
about doing that.
otherwise.
May we have a look at the business
Of course,
end?
Of course.
The term or the phrase, it's a work of art, is properly
Yeah.
overused, but it really does suit this. I mean, I like to think I've got a good eye, and this is, it's exemplary.
So obviously it's sitting transversely with
Yep.
the gearbox on the side, just like the V6 set, and just like, you know, they sit in any Ferraris model like 308 or 208. But, you know.
How does it compare weight-wise with the original unit? Does it?
The original unit, the first units were a 12 valve.
Yeah.
Eventually they evolved into being a 24 valve. They had a cast iron block and an alloy head. I wouldn't think this would
Much different.
much different because this has got an alloy block.
Yeah, probably one balances
You
out
see,
the other,
so
doesn't it? Literally.
I mean, probably they would for the extra 2 pots. There should be,
Yeah.
you know, some weight difference, obviously, but. You
What
know.
about cooling issues?
Cooling issues? Well, in our weather, you know, you'd expect that you'd have some cooling issues because.
Unless you're moving.
Unless you're moving, you have to be moving. You know,
Yeah.
it's got the radiators in front with 2 fans. It's got quite a big radiator.
Yeah, and it's a long draw, isn't it?
It's a long draw, yeah, because all the pipe, all the plumbing has to go, you know, back. So, yes, if it's continuous, you know, slow driving,
Yeah, it doesn't like
she
it.
doesn't like it now.
So, Mark, again, what can I say? Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for bringing this car along. Thank you for the ride. It's something that is going to stay with me for a while. I'm going to have many conversations about this. I'd like to give you a vouchers from our sponsor, Enimed, and you've got a MOTORSMT stickers there to adorn your vehicle
Thank you very
even
much.
more.
Thank you
Mark,
for the opportunity.
it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Grazzi emmek lil Marcus Harrison għal dak il-feature tant interessanti u wasalna fit-tmiem ta' dan il-programm. Grazzi lill-sponsor tiegħi, lil-Dreżier ta' Żurri għall-ilbis, nirringrazzja lilkom sakemm nerġgħu nagħmlu appuntament ieħor nixtieqilkom is-saħħa.